Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you
I'm
doing?
very well. Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year.
The 2nd of
Happy New Year,
January. Happy
everyone.
New Year. Happy New Year.
Yeah,
2023. Here we are.
I know. I'm so ready for
Yeah.
2023. Love
At
it.
6:35 a.m. Haven't seen this time for a little while.
I know, guys, we're still on being very secretive, getting up early and trying to get this podcast recorded before the chaos
Yeah.
awakens.
Before the little ones awake. To be fair, the kids have had the latest of bedtimes the past few weeks that they're probably not appearing until about 8 a.m. But you watch my luck. I've
Yeah,
just said that now.
you just said it.
I hear pitter patter down the stairs in a moment. No chance. We tried to get them to bed on at a reasonable time last night, and yeah, I was sat on bedroom floors for about 2 hours. So and then nodded off about 10 o'clock. So
Oh, it's hard getting back into a
yeah,
routine.
yeah,
And I think we try and do it for them, but then we're out of whack as well. And like
yeah,
it's like getting your mindset in like bath and wind down time earlier to get
yeah,
them ready for bed. It's like
yeah.
I was like 8 o'clock before I was even thinking about it last night. And I was like, oh no,
We've got a
time to
couple
chill.
more nights to yeah, get back into order before they start back
Mm,
at school. So
I know. Yeah. Oh, amazing. So how was your Christmas? Did you have a good
yeah, really, really good and really slow.
one?
And that was our intention this year,
Yeah.
was to just
Same.
pull it back and not be here, there, everywhere. Just really, yeah, I feel like I genuinely spent about a handful of 3 or 4 days in my pajamas building Lego or playing Cluedo.
Love
Like,
it.
like literally, we just had the best time. Like people
Love
have been
it.
around and seen us, but we've not really ventured out too much and just, yeah, just been at home as a family and took the pressure off.
Yeah.
Like really took the pressure off and just slowed right down and just been really present with each other. And it has been wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I'm absolutely with you on that. And I think it's been so nice not to rush off here, there, and everywhere. And like we often feel like we need to do all the things, don't we? See everybody and like we've still seen everyone that we would see, but without the pressure this year, because we've just made that conscious choice, just go slow down.
Yeah, just made it easy for ourselves and
Yeah.
stepped into that intention.
Yeah.
And then it just
Yeah,
became that way,
definitely.
which was
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. And it's okay to have those slow days. I think it's so needed. Um, And we all need that, don't we? Which kind of brings us into New Year because this is the first. I had a moment when I was walking yesterday. It was raining, and the rain on my face. I was just like, this is the first New Year that I don't feel like pressure or like that I don't just feel on a whim I have to do this and this and this. Like that again, I'm taking that slowness just into January to like because Christmas, even though it's been slow, is still busy, isn't it? Because you've done a lot of things and like
Yeah.
the prep and then the delivery, all of the bits. Um, but yeah, just kind of embracing it in a really different way and just using January to rest, to recoup, to gain that clarity, which I have this year, which has again come naturally from figuring it out along the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I too am starting this year saying in a different way to how I would have historically started New Year's, and that is exactly what you just said. To rest and rejuvenate and not bound in with like all these New Year's resolutions, New Year, new me. It's like, hold on a minute.
yeah,
It's still me. It's
yeah,
same me. I'm just gonna do things a little different, and I'm actually just gonna slow down in January and just take stock, use
yeah,
this month to figure out like there was no time in December to figure
no,
out what do I want 2023 to look like, what do I want to achieve, what are my hopes, dreams, desires, needs, wants.
hmm,
Like December was really about being with the people I love and using that time to kick back and just be with them and
yeah,
do things with my family, but also do things for me.
hmm,
And now I feel like I'm in a different mindset going into January where I'm ready to think about what it is I want to do this year and not have to feel like, right, I've got a day to do that. I've got to make all these decisions on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually, I'm going to use January, the whole month of January, to map out what I want the rest of the year to look like and what it is I want to achieve. But like, go deeper with that, not just, oh, well, I want to get fit and I want to eat well and I want to build better habits and yeah, all of the above, but just figure out why, like why is it really important and really kind of hone in on what's going to make the biggest difference and what's going to have the biggest impact and kind of almost like filter it down and focus
Yeah.
on that first rather than trying to do I don't know about you, but in the past, I've kind of gone into New Year's with, I'm going to do this, and this. Then,
Hmm.
like, I don't know, come the second week in Jan, I'm like, oh, I can't sustain all of this. I can't do
Yeah.
all of these things. And no wonder because I'm putting massive amounts of pressure on myself to be this new person with these new habits and
Hmm.
crack the code. And
It's
it's
a
not, it's not
no.
sustainable.
It's not. And you know, even I'm just remembering now, New Year's Eve, I had a moment. I think 'cause had actually had a busy few days of just plans, which have been so, so lovely. But I remember thinking there was a moment and I did shift back to it where I was just like, I'm not ready for New Year. I've not like thought about what I want and like just written it down or done so. And then
Mm.
I was like, Charlotte, you know what you want underneath because you know you've done it. But that has come from so much condition over the years of new year, new year, new year, new year, new year, new you. And we just it builds that pressure in us all, doesn't it? To have all these answers before we go into the new year.
Yeah.
To have those answers mapped out on New Year's Day. Whereas we don't need them. Like January is 1 month out of 12.
Yeah.
Like, what's the turtle in the hair? That's
Yeah.
that that is brilliant, isn't it? Because why do we rush and push and exhaust ourselves in January to have it all figured out
Mm.
when we've got 12 months ahead? Like
Mm.
it's actually way better to just step back,
Yeah.
rest, rejuvenate, figure out why,
Mm.
and then go into the rest of those 11 months with an idea of what we want and why.
Yeah.
Um, oh gosh, just knocked a little something off my lips.
You okay?
Yeah.
It's then making those. Let's say you want to change a habit, right? Let's say you've got a habit that's perhaps unhelpful, and you want to change that habit. It's like, what can you do in January to figure out like why you want to change that habit, how you can replace it with a new, better habit, and how you can make that sustainable because I have definitely tried in the past to build new habits and I've got so far and I just haven't stuck. And it's like, well, actually, maybe if I invest 4 weeks out of 52 into figuring out how can I really make this new habit stick
Mm-hmm.
and just start with one and
Yeah.
start small, like 4 weeks of investment for the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the year, like and just master that one habit and make it sustainable. Like we could often look for that instant gratification, can't we? Of
Mm.
like, I don't know if I'm making sense here, but
No, I think is a great example is dry January because that is something that many of us, I know I for years have tried to do that.
yeah,
And you've just said so many great things in one there. Like let's use dry January as an example. Like
mm,
drinking it is a habit. And when we go into dry January and just remove that habit,
mm,
it has a knock on effect in our January because I know for me, I just hibernated then and I didn't do anything. And like you weren't replacing that habit with anything
mm,
better, or I just know that I didn't actively think about how I wanted to do things differently. I just
yeah,
removed it and then I berated myself for even like if I didn't do it or if I I don't know, then I'd get to February and I'd just make up for it.
Mm. Yeah.
Into
Yeah.
February
And
and be like, I can go out, woohoo,
yeah.
over picking why do I want to do dry January? Does it actually matter to me? Because I know previous years I was not fussed really. I was just doing it because everyone else was.
Mm.
And I felt like it was a good, healthy thing to do in January.
And possibly that you felt you should, if I may just
Yes.
pop the bad word in,
Yes.
possibly a feeling of you should, like I've spent December
Yeah.
intoxicated. I probably should
Yeah.
give my
Just give
body a
it.
break for January now.
Yeah.
And when we feel we should do things, that's not the foundation.
No.
Like it's not the best foundation. It's not the foundation. It's not the place to come from to make a change and do something
Yeah.
differently because you feel you should. Because is that really coming from you, or is that coming from an external influences, external factors? I
Mm,
feel I should do this because everybody else is, because it's just the done thing.
yeah.
But when we shift to a place of wanting to, and I want to because da da
Hmm.
da da, and I want to because this matters for me,
Yeah.
and then like you said, it's about replacing that habit. And I know we've
Mm.
both recently listened to one of Stephen's, I can never remember his surname. We just call him Stephen, like we're best buddies, like we're best buddies. Us and Steve
Bartlett.
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 One of his podcasts talking about habits, and he goes into like the science and the research behind it, that actually studies, I think it was studies that were done on rats, proves that habits don't go, like you can't get rid of a habit. It's
Hmm.
actually about changing the habit and therefore replacing it.
Yeah.
So where's my point going with this? So yeah, let the sober example for January, it's not like just getting rid of, it's like, right, I need to replace that with something else. If it's habitual, if it's trigger related, oh, I've
Hmm.
had a really, really shit day. I need a
Yeah.
gin and tonic. Oh, woohoo, let's celebrate with a glass of fizz. It's replacing that trigger. There is
Hmm.
he's got a little,
5 steps, isn't he? And then he treats you
yeah,
to a sixth, which is great.
yeah, which is
We'll
incredible.
put that in the show
The show
notes,
notes,
actually. Yeah.
definitely. And there's this like 3-step cycle of a habit, and I can't remember the terminology for it now, but essentially I think one thing is a trigger. Can you remember
Yeah.
what it was
Trigger
called?
yeah. Cue, trigger, reward or something.
Yeah.
Something like
So
that.
so it's replacing, isn't it, these things with something different, but from a place of wanting to, not
Yeah.
shoulds. Um,
Yeah. So I've been on obviously the sober journey. So we was just saying before we logged on that I 2022 was my year for getting sober curious. So since May, I've been sober curious. And it was the end of July that I did 3 months without at all. And then I've since been on a journey to see if I want to include it back into my life. I have been drinking like in a very different way, but we're saying Christmas pressures and stuff. Um, but going into the new year, I have decided that I've reset my I Am Sober app on the 1st of January because I hadn't disabled it because I was like, oh, anyway, I've done it. And I am going to see what a sober 2023 looks like and feels like. But through that journey, how I've done dry Januaries before is so different because I know the reasons why I want to do it this year. Before, I would just do dry January and, like I say, hibernate, not replace that habit with anything. Whereas this year, what's the reason for wanting to do it? I want to live life in HD. I
mm,
want to be a calm, present mum. And I know that without drinking, I am a much better one.
yeah,
I am
yeah,
that. I am calm and I am present. I want to have deeper conversations
mm,
and remember them with
yeah,
friends, with family, all of that. And the key thing for me is I want to go on more adventures. And that is the key because I'm removing that as a habit. I've got to then get intentional with what I want to do instead
yeah,
and to make that the journey that I want it to be. So,
yeah,
like, I know today one of my little to dos is to get like a wild swimming booked in,
yes,
and to just figure out what are those things in January that I want to do instead.
yeah,
And also not drinking, like, you gain funds because you're not
yeah,
buying like a bottle of wine now is like £8 for a decent-ish one,
Yeah.
that's gaining like a good amount of funds to then do that other thing.
Mm.
And it was about rewarding myself with that other thing and really going all in on that other thing rather than shutting myself off for January and just feeling a little bit like, oh, God,
Yeah.
it's Friday and I'm on dry January. This is
Mm.
just a boring weekend ahead.
Mm.
Like, no, what do I want to do with this if I'm not drinking?
You've you've really inspired me. In fact, can I do this now? Like
Yeah,
public
do it.
declaration. So, guys, I've been kidding myself, right? So, I'm just tapping into my phone, my I am sober app, because I didn't want to reset mine, even though
It's
I have drank
empowering.
alcohol. Right. So, who am I kidding?
How many
Um,
days is it on there now? Yours,
122
yeah.
days. I clearly just like the number stacking up, but I'm looking at it now. I'm like, I am not 122 days sober, and I was justifying it. I remember I got to around like 70 days. I was like, and I was talking to people about it. I was like, I'm 70 days sober, and then I just had to drop in this little caveat, like, however, just to make you clear, of those 70 days, I've drank. Yeah, so I've drunk. So you're not sober. I'm like, mm, no.
I'm
But
sober curious.
I'm so curious. But I like, it's weird, isn't it? Like, I didn't want to squash those 70 days because, like, the ratio of my drinking within the 70 days, like, old me was going to be like, of 70 days, I would have drank like 40 of them. But because I'd
Yeah.
only drank, say, maybe three, I felt like justified that I could keep my sober up. But no, right,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to reset it
Oh, I love
right
that you're doing
now.
this right now.
Right now, she says, with fear in her belly.
The
Can
the
you tell
app
me to
was yeah, do it.
hit
The app
it?
was
Hit it.
good. It was like I think I don't know what it said.
Why is it
Like keep
asking me if I'm sure? Are you sure you want to reset? Am I sure? It
You're
says,
sure?
I love this. Guys, if anyone's sober curious, get this app.
Yeah,
I
I
am
am
sober. Don't feel ashamed to reset. You should be proud that you were trying. Yes,
exactly.
right.
And that's how I positioned it. That is a last year was about figuring it out. If you've done it, you've
Love
done
it.
it.
Sorry, yeah.
You've done
No,
it.
I'm
Love
gonna
it.
just showing this chart on the screen.
Yes.
0
Yes.
days sober.
0 days.
And you've massively inspired me because oh, there is so I know we've talked about sobriety on a previous podcast. So if you're interested, check that out.
Mm,
But also, can I just quickly say, if anybody is interested in going sober, not for the whole dry January vibe, but for other reasons, or actually, if you're thinking of going dry January for the dry January reasons, but you want to just like dig
yeah.
into that a bit more, please, from the bottom of our hearts, reach out to us
Yeah.
because we know how it feels to start this alcohol free adventure, to go sober curious and go through all those speed bumps and those ups, those downs are
Mm,
feeling like, am I now the boring person?
yeah.
What will everybody think? Can I have fun as a human being without alcohol? Like
Mm,
all these thoughts have ran through our heads time and time again.
yeah.
And yeah, so I just wanted to say that please, please, please reach out. And if you want to join
Yeah.
us and just like
Yeah.
embrace what we're doing, and we can help you, like we can share with you we both like use like journal prompts to help us with this,
Hmm.
haven't we? So
Yeah.
just reach out because we've got resources we can share with you. Just direct message
Definitely.
us.
Yeah. And if we do get a bit of interest on that, we can even put something together, can't we? And just maybe just
Yeah,
create a little space of other women doing
yeah,
just that. So yeah, do reach out to us if that is of interest because we have been through the roller and we still are.
we
It's
still
still
are,
we're not going
absolutely.
into this new year thinking I'm not going to drink and I'm not going to feel like I want to like on a Friday sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it has been a journey and even over Christmas, I was back to thinking I'm the boring one if I sit there without a drink. Like people, what will people think? No one was thinking anything.
Those thoughts ran through my head in December. And
Mm,
you know, I'm my own person. I chose to drink. There's no blame. There's
yeah.
no complaint here. I am responsible for my own actions, and I
Mm,
chose to drink over Christmas. But I'm not going to lie; those thoughts did run through my head. Oh, are people going to think I'm boring? But also, like, because I'm just on this journey, I'm just not quite sure yet. But
yeah.
I'm massively inspired now to reset and start again. And there was something else I was going to say. It's just completely lost my, I completely lost my train of thought. Um, but it is it. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Um, like it's replacing, like you've said, Charlotte, about replacing for you. It's like it's not getting to that Friday and being like, oh, I'm just gonna drink because that's the thing that I do at the weekend. It's the
Mm.
association, and it is replacing it with like I don't have to have alcohol to have fun. I don't
Mhm.
have to have alcohol to unwind. But in the first instance, I felt, so I'm fumbling over my words here, but
It's okay.
I felt that like when I first started it, I didn't know what to
No.
replace those things with because I'd lent on alcohol for such a long time. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying like I was heavily involved with alcohol.
Mm.
I wouldn't say I had a problem, but it was like it was a thing to go to suppress and to mask and to cover up the
Mm.
shit that I didn't really want to deal with. And
And
it was,
that was interesting. Sorry, that just cut in. That was really interesting over Christmas because that was why I got frustrated with myself. I was like, why am I doing it now? But like, I feel like I've outgrown it and I've just fallen out of love with it. But
mm,
the habit of it was pulling me back in,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I didn't really. I know I want to do those other things more.
yeah, yeah.
And it
And
just
that's what it's a lovely space we're in at the moment is that we can both, because we've had a decent period of time when we have been sober, um, excuse me, sorry, we can reflect back on those X amount of months where we were sober and how good that was.
yeah.
Like I could get up at 6 a.m. with ease. I was journaling, I was meditating, I was going through for my walks, I was doing the things that make me feel better, even though I
Mm,
didn't feel like doing them. I was going to the gym, I was eating better.
mm,
Life, I was more patient parent. Life was in high definition. And I don't know, alcohol just seems to make things just that bit little bit cloudier.
yeah.
Um, and my body doesn't respond to it very well and it lingers for a few days and then I just get into this vicious horrible cycle of just beating myself up. One thing I've also noticed, boy do I overeat when I'm having a drink. Like
Yeah.
I put
Mm,
chocolate and crisps and everything in front of me after a couple of glasses of wine. I'm like, I'm gonna eat it all. Like if you put
yeah.
it on the table, nothing is being left there. And then I wake up the following morning just like hating on myself, like, oh, drank and I just ate the entire contents of the
Yeah.
table.
Mm.
And so yeah, so
And
I'm
it no, it's
baffling here,
figuring
but
no, but it's figuring that's a great point. Like it's like figuring out because if anyone is still drinking, like absolutely, like you don't have to do dry January if you're
yeah,
listening to
yeah,
this. Do
it's
you know what I mean?
okay.
Like
It's
it is
okay.
okay, but it's about being kind to yourself if you choose to have that. And this is what I've tried to tap into over Christmas. It's not berating yourself the next day. It's making that as a conscious choice. That's what I wanted to do. I can do it. And this is what's brought me back into wanting to do it because one of the reasons I started in the beginning was because I would wake up in the middle of the night feeling terrible about myself. Like
Mm.
I had, what's it called? Hungover anxiety. Anxiety?
Is it?
I think there's a word
Yeah.
for it. A
Yeah.
word for it. Um, and I would just berate myself the
Mm.
next day for
Mm.
doing it. And I wondered if I could, by introducing it back into my life, I wondered if I could do that and not feel terrible for it. And I think if I continued to, I probably could get there. I was still just feeling rubbish. And I just
Yeah.
thought, what is the point? Because I don't really want to do it. It's a liquid.
Yeah.
But that is a personal choice. Like,
Yeah.
and I kind of realized that I want the other choice more.
Yeah. And please don't berate yourselves.
No.
Please don't berate
Yeah.
yourselves because the energy it takes and the feelings it gives you afterwards, like I'm sure we can all relate to berating ourselves. Like we get good at it, right? But just please don't, because if you are going to get adventurous with this and go on a bit of a sober journey, like there will be moments where you have a drink and every day is a new day, and start the following day without the berating and being bad and unkind to yourself for having that drink. Just know that it's a new day and it's a fresh start every single morning. There's
Mm,
a choice, and you can just say, look, I drank last night, but I can choose not to drink today. And ask yourself that question in the morning: am I going
yeah.
to drink today?
Yeah.
And it can be a yes or a no answer. And if it's
Mm,
yes, that's okay.
Yeah.
Small steps.
That was the first step I remember, like, was actually, could I have done yesterday without a drink, and what would that have looked and felt like?
Yeah.
And like, did I enjoy those alcoholic drinks? If it was a yes, then amazing. I can
Yeah.
just stop being so tough on myself. Or if I didn't, why didn't I?
Yeah.
Just asking ourselves questions and giving ourselves a moment to figure these things out.
Yeah.
Um, definitely.
It can be a really lonely place as well when you first start, and just know that you're not alone.
Mm,
You're not alone, and you will rediscover
yeah.
what brings you joy, what
Hmm.
really brings you joy, and
Yeah.
how to unwind and how to de-stress in alternative ways. And
Yeah.
please don't feel that you should have those answers immediately. We're
Yeah.
like X amount of months in, and I still don't have those answers. And
No.
that's why it is a journey, and
Mm,
you will absolutely get there. And when you do, you'll be like, yes, this feels so, so, so good. And just remember, we are all doing the best
yeah.
with with what we've got, with
Hmm.
what knowledge we have, with what resources we have. We are all doing our best with what we've got. So
Yeah.
please, please, please be kind to yourself.
Definitely. And the other interesting, I love how you've just reset your app then, because this is what it's about. It doesn't have to be the 1st of January.
No, it
It
can be
can be the
whenever.
2nd, it could be the 3rd. Like, if there's something you want to do, don't think you've got to wait till like next year or a Monday. Well, it's a Monday today, but to another Monday or to the start of something. It's almost like embracing that imperfection of it being any
Yeah.
day. Go do
Yeah.
it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Start doing
There is no waiting for the perfect time, because the perfect time won't come. So you'll never get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I spent a lot of time waiting for,
Yeah.
well, when this happens, then I'll do it. When this happens, when I'm this, then I'll no, 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 no,
Mm.
no,
No.
no. In the wonderful words of Mel Robbins, no one's coming.
No.
Like, this is radical responsibility. Whatever, and this is just not about being sober. This is anything,
Yeah.
anything. You can call it a New Year's resolution if that feels good for you, but also you don't have to. If it's a change you want to make, if it's just something you want to do different this year, be kind to yourself in the process and know you
Yeah.
can start at any time.
Yeah.
There's no perfect timing. It's just starting. Action
It
leads to
is.
motivation, action leads to momentum. And we're here for you guys. Like, we are,
Yeah.
this is what we do. This
Yeah.
is what we eat, sleep, and breathe. We
I
are
was
here
just gonna
for you.
say, we literally, it just leads beautifully into what we have going on in January. We have Dare to Dream 2023, and that is all about coming together as women to rest, to rejuvenate, to figure out what we want, to figure out why, to figure out what's getting in our way, and then to go do
Yeah.
together in a space that you can lean on, a super safe, inclusive space that is there for you on the tough days, on the easy days. We celebrate wins, we support ourselves through challenges. Like, we are just there for you and there for each other on this journey. And I know we've reflected on the club a lot, like in December, and just it is the members that make it what it is, because they've
Yeah.
chosen to strip back those layers, to show up as their authentic selves. And oh my goodness, the magic in doing that has made it the space that it is. Um, and Dare to Dream is in that space. It is a place to discover, to understand yourself, and to just make 2023 the year where everything changed.
Absolutely.
So we'll put the link for that in the show notes as well, guys. It is £24, which is a steal for a 4 week program.
I thought like value for money, a 4 week coaching program working directly with
Mm,
us for £6 a week. We're
yeah,
looking like a small glass of wine there, a
yeah,
glass of wine a week to come and just like do it with us. Like, if you,
mm,
we're so passionate about this, and
I
I know
know.
we've been having so many conversations recently, haven't we, of like, what, like, really trying to like refine in a sentence like what it is we do, or not so much what it is we do, but like the results that you can get from coming into us, into the space, into the club. And it's really hard, and I think I don't know if we need to get it into a sentence, because
Yeah.
what we need to do is just talk about it, and the results speak for themselves. And
Hmm.
members are getting sensational results.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to build confidence, if you
Yeah.
struggle with social anxiety and meeting new people, or just speaking up and being you, come with us. This is a place to
Yeah.
grow in confidence. If you want to make positive changes in your life, if you want to prioritize your mental health, if you want to realize your own potential, whatever it is you want to do, whatever change you want to make, do it with us. Because I have experienced, when I first went into like putting myself first, like realizing I had the power within, doing the inner work, going on a personal development journey. I was in my early 20s and I did it all alone. And oh my gosh, what a lonely place it was. I got there, I
Mm.
did it through willingness, determination, practice, effort. But I think back now and I think, if there was a platform like TAGC,
Yeah.
wow, like how much I would have just like zoomed forward so much quicker
Yeah.
in a space where I could be like, is anybody else experiencing this? Or does anybody else feel this? Or
Mm.
guys, I'm struggling with this. Or somebody celebrate with me.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I had family, I had friends around me supporting me, but nobody else was going on that journey, and nobody else really understood. And it was hard to explain, like,
Mm.
until you start doing the inner work, it is a bit, what? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
And growth in itself is lonely and it's uncomfortable. And I think that's where it's needed to be in a safe space, like with others, to kind of cheer you on, because you can easily just pause it or stop it and fear get in the
yeah,
way. But it's actually like, oh my goodness, everything. And even now, I know that everything that I dare to dream about, like my wildest dreams, they are all just on the other side of fear. And one
yeah.
step at a time, I'm dancing with that fear and I'm going to get there.
Come
Like,
and do it with us. Come and
mm,
dance with us into the fear. Push through those comfort zones. Don't do it on your own this year. We are
yeah,
here, and we are your biggest cheerleaders, and we
yeah.
believe in you from the bottom of our hearts. We really do. And we
I
know
think
that
that,
you can
oh,
do
sorry.
this.
Yeah. I feel like that was the magic of obviously you coming to join the journey as well, because you were the one who was behind me every step of the way. And we always have this like ladder analogy, don't we?
Yeah.
Like you are like, we're climbing this ladder up towards where we want to be. And to, well, I suppose you're climbing that ladder back to our, getting back to our highest self, our
Yeah.
authentic
Yeah.
self as well. And like you were there pushing me up that ladder.
Yeah.
Like nobody in the club is pulling anybody's legs.
No.
There's nobody is pulling anyone down. We are just tweaking each other up
Yeah.
one after the other. And that is so special. And I think when we do come together in this space of wanting to be more ourselves, to strip back those layers, that's what we all want. Like, we can't be externally happy until we're internally
Yeah.
happy. We can have little stints of external happiness, don't get me wrong, but to experience happiness more regularly, more consistently, to achieve the life that we want to live, we've got to work on being happy with ourselves.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Take a leap of faith.
yeah,
Do it. Make 2023 the year you dreamt and did. Come
yeah,
join us in Dare to Dream for just £6 a week. Just a one-off payment, £24. There's no commitment. You don't have to stay in the
mhm.
club. You'll absolutely want to. You'll absolutely want to, because you'll want to just do all those things in
Mhm.
this environment, in this space. I guarantee it. There's 100% money back guarantee. If you turn up to all the live sessions and do all the work and put the effort in and get out of your own way,
Mm.
you will not want your money back, because you will see changes within 4 weeks. I
Yeah,
guarantee it.
absolutely. I just thought you mentioned one of our wonderful members before, but we had a member join us recently and she really struggled with social anxiety, and she joined one of our events and then joined the club, and she saw a mindset shift in 2 weeks, and her progress in such a short space of time has been incredible.
She's
And like,
incredible.
yeah,
She's
like
incredible.
she blows us away, right? And we're
Yeah.
literally like, wow. And that's what we need. We all need to just strip back those layers, be ourselves, and just see that we are amazing as we are. We
Yeah.
don't need to change anything. just need to figure out what we want, who we are,
Yeah.
and be that.
Yeah. Come on. Our arms are wide open. We're ready
Yeah.
for you. So yeah, we will drop the details in the show notes.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And just go easy on yourselves in January, guys. You don't have to have it all figured out
no.
with it being the 2nd of January. Just be kind to yourself and let yourself figure it out as you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Oh, it's been lovely to chat. I heard a few little footsteps. I'm hoping that it was
Perfect timing.
I'm
Divine
hoping
timing.
it was a trip to the loo and they've gone back to bed because I was hoping for an 8 o'clock.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, actually, I could do with a little bit of a meditation right now, I think, and a bit of a journal. So yeah, it'd be great if they
stay there.
keep a bit longer, stay there a little bit longer. Amazing. So it's been a wonderful to chat. Wishing you all a very happy new year, and yeah, reach out to us, guys. We're here for you.
We are
sending all our love.
Yes, here's to 2023.
Let's do it.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.